Welcome. Short weekend episode. Dr. James Beckett Sports Card Insights. Thanks to sponsors, Topps, Panini, and Upper Deck, Burbank Sports Cards, Mike Stadium Sports Cards, Heritage Auctions, Huggins & Scott Auctions, as well as Beckett Media, Beckett Grading, Beckett Authentication, and COMC.com. Got a letter, got an interesting email, and I got permission to use the details here that were expressed. I'm not going to use his name, but I'll just give you some of the gist of what he said. He had a question. And it's not crazy, and it's probably not something that some of you haven't faced as well. He's in his 40s. He's married. He's got 3 daughters. Makes a good salary. Avid card collector. Check, check, check. The problem is he is not on the same page as his wife with respect to how much to spend on cards. He'd like to buy some more expensive cards, and I'm not sure what the situation is there, but it's marital harmony is better than marital disharmony. And as a gross generalization, wives generally are more security conscious. So I'm not against the wife. In fact, I may even be, supporting the wife. Basically, if you're a guy that's collecting and you love the hobby, which all of us seem to do, and your wife doesn't fully get it, that isn't unusual. But I think it's your job to try to give her some the proper justification. You had mentioned you'd like to buy $1,000 cards, and she'd probably be okay at a couple $100 a week. And so that you mentioned perhaps some kind of a layaway service. Well, I really don't like layaway. I think that kind of involves a middleman, or it's kind of like MasterCard, where you buy it, but then you got to gradually pay it off, and you always wind up paying off a little more. Again, if you did want to do layaway, there are card shops that could perhaps help with that. But I don't really like that. The better thing is to go to your wife and say, hey, this is a better hobby than a lot of illicit activities that some men get into, and I'd like to budget $200 a week for recreation, for fun, and it may even be rewarding. But I'm for sure going to have fun, and I am hopeful that I will also make money. Obviously, regardless of how much you make, the first thing goes to providing for your basic needs for you and your family. And then the next level for many people is to save/invest some money. So again, a security conscious person would say, okay, we're covering our bases for now. We've got money for a rainy day. We've got money set aside in reasonable investments for our future, retirement or schooling. And then many people prioritize slightly differently, but then there's giving back, charitable kinds of things, as well as recreation. And recreation could be one way to look at this hobby if you have a lot of fun with it. So let's see. I didn't see in your letter where or when you would sell any of these cards that you would buy. Again, that could give your wife some heartburn if all you have are paper profits. Even if they're significant, there's no sure thing until you actually do sell. So if you're buying and selling $100 cards here and there and working your way up, you may be able to make enough profit with some of your earlier purchases to escalate your the level of purchase that you can make. Again, all with money that's within the budget. So if you tell your wife, I want to put $200 a week in a card account, and that's all. And so maybe you wait a few weeks until you've got $1,000 built up. And then if a card comes up and it's $1,000 card, you can pull the trigger on that without having to go back to your banker/wife and trying to negotiate a little bit more. So like I said, marital harmony, if you want your cards to go down 50% in value, if you live in Texas, which is a community property state, it's marital harmony is good. And honesty with your wife also doesn't just include not telling lies. It includes no big secrets like that. So don't be sneaking around. Again, the hobby is so strong now that I'm not saying that it's automatically profitable, but things are really good now. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of camaraderie in it. And frankly, the other issue you might have with your wife, depending on the way you file your taxes, if you start buying and selling and really do have a good eye to what to buy and when to sell, there could be some impact on your jointly filed income tax. But again, if you go to your wife and say, look, I love this hobby. I want to manage that, and I want to manage it to the tune of $200 a week or $10,000 a year. And I'm not going to ask you for more than that. And I'm not going to go into debt. to me, that would be, if not a compelling argument, at least a reasonable argument. So there you have it, trying to respond to this email in a way that would be perhaps applicable to some other people. The hobby's a lot of fun. That fun is not, it can blow up in your face if you're spending money on your hobby that ought to be going to your kids' new shoes or something like that. I know that's not what this person's talking about, but putting things in balance, especially when you have a hobby that's as much fun as this, is a worthy goal. So thanks for expressing your concern. And again, listeners, I hope you got something out of this. I'll be back again with another episode. And again, thanks for sharing the story.